Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Miss Margie, and good afternoon, classmates. Today, we will talk about the lesson 4, which all about the program, setting goals, planning, and evaluating. So bear with us as we go along with our discussion in this video reporting. I am Doreen Ocantano, and together with Miss Genevieve Capin, we are your reporters for this lesson. Now, the contents of our reports will be the first one, philosophy, second, formulating goals, the third one is implementing goals and objectives, and the fourth one, evaluating outcomes. So later on, you will be know and have the knowledge about these four topics. First, let's talk about the philosophy of early childhood education program. So when we say philosophy, it is the processing of general and fundamental questions such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, mind, and language. We can also define philosophies at our own experience, thoughts, or just based on the beliefs of each individuals. But here in education program or in early childhood education, philosophies vary from program to program. You may decide to model your program after one or a number of different types. As your program grows and evolves, it is important to evaluate how you and your families are most comfortable with caring for and educating the children in your care. So here in early childhood program, every educator has their own philosophy on teaching that guides them throughout their professional career. This philosophy is based upon their own belief system and their understanding of how best to ensure a quality education for the students and their care. So, of course, educators are the basic one to consider when it comes the program. So of course their philosophy may vary according to their beliefs or their experience or in their thoughts. So that's why ang philosophy kay they are can based upon to their understanding of how best to ensure a quality of education. Now let's move on to the philosophy of early childhood education program teaching by Vicky Palmer. So this idea are based only on her experience and thoughts. So it might be helpful for us future educator to establish philosophy on how we are going to teach the young children in this program. So the first one is the learning environment will be one that is bright, secure, motivating, and fun so that the children are encouraged to achieve their full potential. So here, it means nga it can be achieved both under and outdoor through a combination of a spontaneous play and intentional teaching. She developed a holistic approach and designed to satisfy the child in a social, emotional, physical, spiritual, and lingual and intellectual sense. So here, ang learning environment sa mga children kay maoy ang first base to develop their fullest potential as well as their holistic approach or holistic development. So of course we all know that how important to develop this holistic in order for them to grow and develop appropriately as well as to achieve those potentials na kinahanglan nila as they go along on their growth and development. Second, we have here, it is essential that the children are valued, nurtured, and respected as individuals. So nga namang important na ato silang i-valued, i-nurtured, and respect. It is because and children are really sensitive. They are innocent. So of course, they are longing for such love, care, and respect by the help of adults. So kita nga future educators as well as for the parents, we need to provide this essential because they love it. They will sense na kanang gitagana to sila important siya as well as kanang it is the rule of adult or even educator to assume responsibility for each child's personal and educational development. While na sila sa atong care. Accordingly by Vicky Palmore, ang iyahang plan or her planning and daily care must cater for stimulate and challenge the diverse range of needs, talents, cultures, and interests of her children. As a team of educators, we will support the children's progress throughout their learning journey by continual observation, planning, documentation, evaluation, and reflection. So, of course, her plan or the plan of Vicky Palmer is really something kanang achievable. It is because of course when it comes to helping children or young children, we need to observe them accordingly, like we can document or evaluate and reflect their daily task achievements so that ang kanang ilaang educational development is ma-achieve bitaw, like dili siya ingon na dali-dali, but along the gradual process mahinahinay nato og develop ang ilaang mga needs na i-develop silang kagalingon. Now let's move on to the third philosophy of early childhood teaching by Vicky Palmer, which is the well-being of children is essential irrespective of their personal circumstances such as race, religion, gender, disability, or cultural background. So of course, this extends to supporting families from diverse backgrounds and the roles as a caregiver. So kita nga caregiver or future educators, we need to have respect when it comes to their diversities because it will help them to grow na nagdako or naggrow in a sense of being accepted sa mga different religion or the diversities. Regular communication with families is an integral aspect of rule so that we can work alongside each other for the benefit of the child. So, ang kaning nga idea ni Vicky Palmer when it comes philosophy of early childhood teaching is something helpful bitaw nato. It is because if you can see or if you can reflect from her planning it is something need i-achieve in order for the student and teacher be fair enough when it comes being treatment as well as ang diverse backgrounds sa different pupils or children's can be considered as one of the uniqueness of each individuals that can be turned into families supporting the different backgrounds, and of course we have to communicate properly in order for the children to develop their well-being or their personal circumstances positively. Now let's go to the last one, philosophy, which is she believes that preschool education is crucial to a child's development and assists them greatly in their early years of schooling and ensures their smooth transition into kindergarten. So here, ang kanisiya, she believed na the first 5 years are when children have proved to be most intellectually observant. She believed that any concern staff have about a child's progress must be acted upon in a professional, prompt, and compassionate manner. So of course, kita nga future educator, or even caregiver of a certain preschool or kindergarten program, this should ensure na ang kanang development sa bata na assist in a proper way or in a great way to ensure nga ang ilang transition of development kay smooth and also ma-feel sa mga bata nga they have the progress on their own as well. So kita nga mo coming professional, we need to we need to prompt or to have compassionate manner to act upon in dealing or assisting children. And that would be all for the philosophy of early childhood teaching by Vicky Palmer. And this philosophy is not only limited on her idea, but we can also conclude the other philosophy from other teachers or professionals, and that philosophy can be our guide or source of being a good professional teacher in the future. So I hope this philosophy by Vicky Palmer can be applicable for us in the future, and it will help us for growing professional and planning the planning the positive way of teaching children in this program. Now let's move on to the second content that I'm going to share and discuss with you, which is all about formulating goals in the early childhood education program. So here atong i-ask ato ang kaugalingon, what are the goals for early childhood education? The answer may seem simple, perhaps memorizing the alphabet, learning to count in the double digits, and identifying primary colors come to mind. However, when it comes to early childhood education, the goals and the benefits are much bigger than simple academic growth memorization. So, here, what are the goals you have for your child? So, unsa man imong goals nga set for the children? So, here are some questions na pwede na tong mabuhat or to reason out unsa tong kinahanglan na imit. So, here are the questions. So, are there any particular goals you have in mind for your child during their early childhood education? Are you hoping they'll learn to count to a certain number, or memorize the alphabet, or learn to work with other children their own age? If you're looking for guidelines, those questions can be answered accordingly for the children kung unsa nga to ang goals sa early childhood education. So if you're looking for guidelines on what sort of goals you should have for your child, so if you are setting your own goals for them, keep in mind the SMART method of setting goals. So in formulating goals in early childhood program, gamiton po nato ang SMART method or ang SMART nga acronym para mo set the goals for the children learning and teaching sa program na early childhood education. When we say SMART goals in early childhood education program and care, it is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This means that when you set a goal in SCA program, it should have all of these qualities because you should have a specific goal that is well defined and not vague. The goal should be measurable. So dapat ang goal nimo measurable so that you can definitely see when your child has reached it. The goal should be attainable and age appropriate so that you don't set your child up for failure. The goal should be relevant either to your child's educational or emotional development. And the goal should be time-bound, meaning that you have a specific time period in which you want your child to achieve this goal. So, making sure that goal fits these parameters is very helpful for both in the classroom and outside of it. If you've got academic goals in mind for your child, keep SMRT or SMART in your mind. So, as you can see, ang early childhood education is an invaluable tool that serves many purposes. Not only will your child learn a lot in preschool classroom, they'll also make friends and have a ton of fun. So, we future educators or even professionals uses SMART goals or SMRT goals in order for them to formulate goals in this program and to achieve this. So dapat kita nga future one, dapat atong timanan ang SMRT or SMART in formulating goals and objectives sa program nga ACE. Now let's go to the goals for preschool students. Some of the primary goals for early childhood education are the following. The first one is to prepare children for kindergarten. So here, preschool is an excellent way for children to get acclimated to the climate of an elementary school classroom. In preschool, they will learn invaluable skills such as sharing, being cooperative, and listening. When it's time for them to enter kindergarten, they'll be ready thanks to their preschool education. So of course, if they will enter in kindergarten, of course, before that, they'll have to enter preschool education. So in that way, they already have an idea what will be the process of their learning. And the second goal of early childhood education is to help children develop positive self-esteem. So here, another goal of preschool is to help develop your children's self-esteem, especially in regards to learning. Much of preschool is hands-off, meaning that your child will lead their own play and learning. This allows them to gain confidence in their independence and the ability to do things and figure out things out for themselves. This confidence will benefit them for the rest of their academic years. Okay, the third one is to help children learn to work with others. So here, another important benefit and goal of preschool is for your child to learn how to effectively and appropriately work with other children and adults in position of authority, which is the teachers. Preschool activities with their classmates, since preschool focuses on free play but is also very well supervised. It's an excellent environment for a child to hone their social skills and develop friendships. So, and the last one is to help children develop basic mathematical skills and familiarity with numbers. So, which means preschool is an introduction to simple mathematics such as counting and adding small numbers together. This exercise helps build critical thinking skills and sharpen your child's mind. Building familiarity with numbers in preschool will give your child a head start in kindergarten and beyond. And that will be all for my part of discussion. And the next reporter will be Miss Kapin.